Welcome to the Wisdom Inside Out podcast. Today, I am so thrilled to have a beautiful friend of mine. She's beautiful inside out. We met each other through work, and I really am grateful for our friendship, our your kindness. But what more important about Tatiana? She's going to share about her life journey. You know, her separations, her cancer journey about 10 years ago.
Sharing my story and just being a supportive person. In your situation, when like you mentioned, we knew each other from work, but I found out about your cancer from a mutual friend, and I thought, you need someone in your corner who's been through what you're going through, because you go through various emotions and ups and downs, and you second guess yourself, you lose self-confidence. Like, there's so many emotions that you go through as you go through your journey. And I thought, you know what, I've been through it. I didn't have anyone like that. And I thought, if I can help someone just to understand and just to be there and listen and just to help, I think that's the reason why I believe that I received a second chance at life. So that's why I do what I possibly can to help others who are going through a similar situation.
It's like we can't have the same mindset. If we need to overcome this problem, we need to upgrade our mindset. And this is when I start looking at challenges, problem now. It's like, oh, it's a blessing in disguise. It's here to teach me something. You know, it's the power that I never thought I can do it, the power I never thought I can go through it. So beautiful. Only if you're comfortable with Tatiana. I know I know you're willing to come into the show, but I just wanna go in a little bit deep about your remarkable experience. If you're comfortable sharing about, I know you said you didn't have anyone back then when you went through your own cancer journey, and not just that, you also experienced infidelity regarding with your relationship.
I went to the GP, he felt it, sent me straight for a mammogram and an ultrasound. Had both of them done. When I finished the ultrasound, the receptionist said to me, and I picked up my results, she said to me, you need to go and visit your GP immediately. And she had a very serious face. And I thought, geez, that's weird. I've never had anybody, when I've had anything done, say to me, you need to go immediately. Back then, because this is 12 years ago now, I went and saw him for the results, and he said to me, I don't have good news, I've got bad news. And I'm like, oh, I wonder, I'm probably just going to have chemo or something like that. That's how I thought he was going to tell me what the bad news was. In actual fact, he goes, you're not stage 1. He goes, you are stage 3, bordering stage 4. And, when they tell you bordering stage 4, that means you're terminal. And I was like, no, this is not going to happen to me. This is not going to be how I am going to leave this world. I'm not ready. I'll choose when I'm ready to go. And that was my mindset from get-go. So I had to make a very quick decision right there on the spot. He said to me, we need to remove your left breast, because that is the only way that we're going to be able to help and save your life. Not thinking that, looking after me was going to cause my partner to get too close with a work colleague of his at work and start cheating on me. So this is how the infidelity came about.
Yeah, I think the culture has taught us that, we have to do that, become that good girl. We have to take care of everyone. But really the root of everything, you have to come back to yourself first. We can't pour from an empty cup. And this is why we feel guilty when we start want to think about ourselves. We blame ourselves as a bad wife, as a bad mother, But how are we going to look after others? This is why I like the analogy of like at the aeroplane, you put on the oxygen mask on yourself first before you help on others.
Help someone else.
Yeah, you need to come back to look after yourself first. But I think this is why I say culture make us feel like we're selfish if we take care of ourselves first, because we have to do what they want us to do, but it have to come back to you take care of yourself before we can take care of others. And that's what I learned as well from my cancer journey.
Yeah, because you have to look after you to be able to be there and look after others. And it's not selfish, it's something that we all need to do and focus on more. Because like you said, yes, culture has a lot to do with it, because, you know, I'm South American, and in our culture is a mother has to look after everyone, has to look after her kids, has to look after her husband, has to look after her parents, has to look after the in-laws, has to look after the dog, has to look after, you know, every other family member, but except yourself, because you have to be there for everybody 24/7.
Yeah.
But, you know, coming back to the basics is you need to look after you to be able to look after others.
Exactly. And this is why I'm so grateful for cancer, because it's like a big mirror revealing, Leena, this is what goes wrong, this is what you need to fix. You know, it's just like a big mirror revealing what I need. This is why external validation is no longer on my list. I just focus on myself, and everything on the outside is going to fall into place. Thank you so much, Tat, for sharing. I wrote down there's a lot of good parts that I want to ask you. You know, you share so many good informations out there. And I just want to ask you, because for me, I feel that the reason I was diagnosed with cancer, it got to do with a big part that I was stressing when I lost my dad 6 months before. So I just want to ask you, because you said that you were stressing around redundancy, and then later you find out that you have cancer. If you were to look at the time, like when exactly do you find out that you got made redundant? And then when do you find out you have cancer?
Okay, so redundancy for me was in 2012. I was informed in May that year that I was going to be made redundant. And what I had done was I had bought a new car. So I was, oh my God, I just bought a new car. I used, you know, savings for it. And now I'm being made redundant. Like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And my partner at the time said, you know, don't worry, I'm still working. You know, we'll be fine. You get a payout. You'll get another job. You'll be fine. But it wasn't just so much that. It was, you know, I had been managing a team of people. I had a lot of stress on my shoulders from my job. I was damn good at my job, and I think it was just a mixture of things. It was, am I going to get another job? Am I going to be able to, you know, support my family again? Am I going to lose my identity because am I going to be able to get a similar role? So all these things were going through my head. And I think that could have been the cause, because my oncologist did mention that the way that my cancer was, it is probably stress related. So, and that was the only stress at that stage that I had, was being made redundant and not knowing really what my future was going to look like, but know that within 3 months I would be diagnosed with breast cancer, and that it would actually be the biggest challenge of my life. So it was, I think it was, like I said to you, I think everything happens for a reason, and I think me being made redundant was meant to happen so that I could look after myself and fight because I don't think I would have been able to do that if I was working. Obviously, working and trying to, you know, maneuver all of this, it just would have been...
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to slow down. You're just in that rat race That's what I feel like. That's why I'm so grateful for cancer, because it get me to slow down and reflect on a lot of things on life. And I was like, oh my god, I just follow everyone, even though I feel like I kind of feel comfortable with life. But then, when I see, my friends getting another house, a promotion, you feel like you just have to keep go on, and you didn't even have time to questions like, what's your purpose of living? What is, you do have some of those questions, but you don't spend enough time reflecting on it. You just have to go what everyone's going. FOMO, fear of missing out, what's others doing.
You don't want to miss out. You want to be up there with the Joneses. You want to be doing and being successful and, doing everything that other people are doing as well, because you don't want to be left behind. But
exactly
the mentality that we need to get out of, because it's not sustainable. It's not real.
It's not real. That's the right word. It's not real. It's like the culture create all this fantasy, and everyone's keep chasing for perfectionists, and the more I feel like it's like a dream in the air. Like the closer you get there, it's like it's nothing there, and you keep chasing again, you keep going, and yeah.
That's how I think a lot of us, when I look back, that's how I was living my life, and that's not how my life anymore. I always used to be, what are people going to say? What are people going to say? I really don't care what people say anymore, because I'm living my life for me and for my purpose and what makes me happy. I really don't care what other people think, because I don't live my life for them. I live my life for me.
Yeah. I know, like a human being, we seems to want to feel like we belong. But what I learned is that I belong to me. I belong to myself. I don't have to belong to the group. And the more I belong to myself, the more I get attracted to good people, good friends into my life. I have to come back to myself first. And that's like the root of the tree. If you want to be able to have more fruit or shade on your tree, you have to focus on your root, and that is come back to yourself. It's not on others, but love yourself unconditionally. That's what I said. That's what I learned. I realized I didn't love myself unconditionally before. I only love myself if I lost 2 kilos. I love myself if I have that promotion. I love myself if I have that car, that house. That is like condition. That's not love yourself unconditioned. And that doesn't feel comfortable. When you love yourself unconditionally, that's when you feel ease and peace with yourself every moment. Yeah, that's why I'm grateful for cancer, because it teaches this very, very valuable lesson, and I feel never been happier.
See, I take that back. Everything happens for a reason, and there was a purpose for that to happen. I think for me, it was to get back to basics, to look after myself, and to, when I look back, I think, to look at my relationship. So I think all of those things at the time, I was devastated, I was gutted, but I look back, it happened because I needed to remove that person from my life.
No.
Because that person was, the way that I look at it, that person was a cancer in my life. Like I got that cancer in my life. Yeah. I am a happier person. I have been able to focus on what's important, me. And I continue to do that with the people around me. And, I think sharing what you go through, I think is something that we need to do, because you think a lot of people similar situation and they don't know how to deal with it, they don't know how to tackle it, and I think it's important for us to share our stories.
Yeah, definitely. This is why I choose to share my story, because when I share my story, a few of my friends that actually open up, they're going through this, going through that. So a lot of people don't like sharing their vulnerability because they see it as a weakness. And they fear of judgment, or but I think it's a great opportunity to show your vulnerability. Do you want a real friendship? You know who can take you, who's not. Like, and for me, I feel that I give an opportunity to allow my friend to be show up as a good friend, like you show up for me in terms of what I go through. Because if I don't share that with people, you wouldn't know. And there's a lot of beautiful people out there that want to show their support and kindness to people. So it's a great opportunity for my friend to show up for me as well, instead of judging, no one's going to take care of you. But by sharing that, and actually a few of my friends went to do their checkup, and one of my friends now is going through exactly the same experience as me, which I can be there for her.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
one of my girlfriends, it's been 3 years now that she passed. She battled breast cancer. At least she wasn't as lucky as what I was. So breast cancer took her. It was gut-wrenching to see her go through, because you don't think that you're going to lose someone so close to you. I was there to help her through, the right times, because I had already been through it. Helping her with, supporting her, listening to her, and telling her that, she needs a mindset. Doesn't matter what your doctors say, you just have to give, because I think you have that positive mindset, you can get through anything, you can deal with anything, and it gives you a better outlook on how you're going to tackle things and how you're going to deal with things. And you're going to have the right people beside you.
Yeah, I'm totally with you, and I'm always admire that you all have that strong mindset. Even though you're in a lot worse situation than me, but you're like, I have to do it, I have to go through it. You're very clear on that, and science already back up this. Your thoughts shape your reality. The power of your thought. It's like an energy. It can control every part of your body, and it's like, they now can see about neuroplasticity, like every cell in your body is depend on you putting new information, new thing every day, and it keeps changing all the time. Like in 3 years, we have a full new blood in our body, and the same with ourselves and everything. So that's the way how you eat, the way how you take care of yourself, the way how you talk to yourself. It have a big part in changing your whole self to a healthy one. And yeah, so positive thinking is very powerful, and I have to say mindset is everything.
Yeah, mindset is everything. Absolutely. And like I said to you, when I changed my mindset after I kicked my partner out, I decided that I was going to get a better job, better for myself. I was going to support myself. I was going to continue to be fit. I was going to have the people that actually brought me happiness around me. Everybody that was, I call them as baggage, actually disconnected with. So my people is very small, very, very small, because I believe that have quality than to have quantity. So a very small group of people in my life, and I don't need any more, because I think it gives me the satisfaction to know that those people are genuine. They are genuine people that want to be a part of my life, that care about me. Because somebody else will say, oh yeah, I'll give you an example, like my ex-partner's family, you'll always be family, you'll always be family. But that did not happen when I was going through all of this. They were nowhere to be seen, and to be honest, it was my fault of his infidelity, because I got cancer. So being made guilty that he was unhappy because I got cancer. But I was like, but I got cancer. I didn't put my hand up and say, I've been through enough in my life and I haven't been hit in the gut that many times. You know, why not just have something else fall on me for me to have to deal with, and go through, you know, the biggest fight of my life, and not have my partner there to support me. And, you know, you would think, and you would know this because you've been through it with your husband. You know, he's been there to support you the whole time. He was too busy with someone else to worry about. And I'm like, how does that make you feel? It makes me feel, you know, gutted not to have that support that from get-go, because if the shoe was on the other foot, I would have been there no matter what. I would not have had time to have an affair with someone else. Too busy trying to be there for my partner and trying to help my partner as much as I possibly could, and not blame them for my infidelity because, you know, of their illness. So, you know, you need to rethink and say, you know what, it is what it is. You can't fix the past, but you can certainly look and appreciate what you have today and what your future's going to look like.
Yeah, I notice people don't transform or they can't change if they don't own up for their part or their accountability. People can choose to blame others. If they blame themselves, they will find a solution for it, right? They're gonna change. But if they choose to blame others, they're gonna stuck with that behavior, that mindset, that thinking. So yeah, so in order for people to change, they have to take accountability first, that, hey, I did play a part, my mistake here. And that's when they can transform. But if they don't take accountability by choosing to blame, like, you know, your family, your husband, your ex-partner blaming you about your cancer, so they choose not to do anything and not changing and transforming to be a better person.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the thing that I did to be able to move on was I actually told him to his face that I forgave him for what he did, but it wasn't for him, it was for me, because I needed to do that so that I could deal with it internally, so that then I could actually move on. Because if I didn't do that, I wasn't going to be able to move on and live my life the way that I wanted to live my life and the way that I'm living my life.
Did you tell him in the face? What's his response?
Nothing. He didn't say anything. I think he was surprised that I actually said that. But it was for me, and that's, you know, taking the power back for myself, empowering myself with what do I need for me? What do I need to move forward? What is it that make me happy to move forward? And that was it. It was to say, I forgive you, but it's not for you, it's for me, so that I can move forward.
Yeah, that's very powerful. I love it. Like, people don't understand, when they blame others, they feel powerless because they push away the power on others. But when we take control, I do this, do that, we have the power in our hand. And that's how we reclaim our power back, you know. I always question, what can I do to change the situation, instead of put a blame, oh, he did that. Because everything in life is co-creating, you know, whether with your kids to our partner. So if you choose to push that power and put a blame because of this person do this, do that, then you lose your power. So I like how you did it. It's like you keep the power with you. I choose to do this. I choose to do this. The power is always in your hand. And that's how we stretch our human potential, right? When you keep pushing and doing it and realize, wow, I can do this. I think it reminds me of a analogy. They do a research, you know how this, I'm not sure if you've seen it, the spider and ant, they draw a black circle around the ant, and the ant wouldn't get out of that line. When they see, so they put the ant on the paper, piece of paper, and they draw a black line circle around the ant, and the ant get close to the line, they wouldn't get out. So they tried with the spider the same thing, and they start to draw the circle closer, closer until it's close to their leg, and one of their leg is tapped on the line, and they realize, oh, it's actually okay when my leg's on the line, and that's when they're able to crawl out of the line. And when they start drawing the black line again, the spider and the ant doesn't stay there anymore. They know that they can stretch out of that. It's like doesn't stop them anymore. And I feel like the same with our human potential. When we break through with something, like with cancer or you with your surgery or your cheating, you feel like you know your power. You can keep stretching it.
Absolutely. And it feels so good because you feel empowered. You feel like, you know what? Nothing is impossible.
Yeah.
It is possible.
It's beautiful to have that feeling, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. I just want to come back to your just to ask this question for women out there who go through relationship or maybe similar situation to you. Like, how long did you get to speak to your ex-partner regarding to why does he cheat or anything like that? Did he get to tell you, besides saying that because of the cancer, but did he share anything that maybe that we get to know what was his side of story for cheating?
He didn't say a great deal. I did confront him, and he just said that he had a connection with her, and that was it. To be honest, that's all he said. He really didn't say a great deal, but I think they were both very much into each other, and I think, you know, no matter what I would have said, no matter what, I don't think it would have changed. I think he had already made up his mind. I am not sorry. I am thankful.
Yeah.
Because, like I said to you, it was like a cancer taken away from me.
Yeah. It teaches you how to love yourself more.
Absolutely. It's taught me how to love myself more and, you know, do things for myself. Go back to, you know, being because I've always been a very independent person. I am so independent. You know, I do rely on my children to do certain things at times because obviously all my kids, you know, for your audience, all my kids live at home still with me. So it's just a matter of me, you know, relying on them to do certain things. But everything I do for myself, I do for myself first, and then it's like for them. Always me first. In the picture, always me first. Because I think
that's a good role model.
I think it is a good role model for them. For them not that they have to look after themselves. They have to love themselves. They have to look deep within themselves. Are they happy with the person that they are? Are they happy with the person that they're portraying? Is something that is stopping them from being their best person, their best self? Because I think that's something that we need to, you know, delve into. Am I being the best version of me?
Exactly. That's what I want to teach my kids as well. That's what I want a role model. Like, mommy need this space. Just tell them you have to learn to listen to your own gut, because only when you feel ease and happy with yourself that you can actually create a happy and safe environment with people around you. So taking care of yourself is the same as taking care of others as well, because, you know, hurt people hurt others. When you actually go through pain, you release it on others. So you need to have a shelter to protect yourself. Like, even though some people negative energy come, you need to regulate your emotions so you don't pass on that negative energy. And this is why a lot of people, they didn't realize, you know, if your husband come back from work, he's going through angry or something like that, he come back, he's gonna release that at home too. So this is why taking care of yourself is the same as you taking care of others. You're doing your part, take care of your responsibility, make sure you don't spread that hurt or negative energy to people next to you, because emotion is very contagious. So I just want to know regarding to the cheating, how did he tell you how long does it start? Did he say is it after the cancer or before the cancer? Did you know about that?
I think it was before, because
okay.
I had a gut feeling that there was something not right. But he kept assuring me that no, they're just friends. They're just friends. And it just didn't sit right with me. Like, I've got male friends, but there's no way that I would go to that extent to you know, be so in their face when I know that they're married and they've got children. So I feel that this was her purpose. She wanted, and he felt, I don't know, maybe he felt, you know, whatever, and was, you know, innocent enough until it wasn't innocent enough. Not really sure, because he's never really opened up about it. Apart from the fact that he said to me he was in love with someone else, and that was via a text. It wasn't. And so, and you know, we're not divorced yet. So we have been separated for 10 years. He won't divorce me. He won't agree to a divorce. I don't understand. I don't know why, but that from.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So.
Oh wow.
Yes.
It's a complicated relationship now.
It is, because I just don't understand why you would go to the extent that you would go to and not want to, you know, terminate the relationship that you had before so that you can move on with your current relationship. I don't understand that. It's very bizarre, very weird for me. But like I said to you, it doesn't stop me from living my life. You know, I've had a few relationships, very short relationships, because I am more comfortable on my own than being with someone else.
Yeah.
I want to have to share, you know, my wardrobe. That's been very selfish. I don't want to have to share my walking robe with anybody else again. I don't want to have to share my bed with anybody else. You know, I do what I want, when I want, how I want, and with whom I want, and I love that freedom. Yeah. I said to you, I'm a very person, and I love that freedom. I don't take it away from me, and I think, you know, that's because I have got to know myself so well. Have, you know, started to love myself all over again, and I think it's just where I am in life now. I am looking forward to spending the rest of my life with the people that I love. But that's it, to be honest. I don't
totally understand that.
I don't need a man to make me who I am, because I have done that myself, all by myself. I've done that all by myself. So I think maybe it's a bad thing, maybe it's a good thing, I don't know, but I look at it as a good thing, because I'm looking after number one. I'm looking after me. As long as I'm happy in what I'm doing and who I'm with, that's all that matters. I'm not hurting.
Yeah. Exactly. No, I'm totally with you. You know, I have a friend, she could not survive without relationship. She would jump from one to one. And what I just telling her is like, I told her that, you know, if you have a deeper connection to yourself, probably you don't want this relationship anymore. You know, it's sometimes you lost that sense of deeper connection. Like, I remember we used to watch dramas. We like the main character's guy to take care of the main character's girl. You know, I said, and I told her, like, you know, we can do this to ourselves. We don't need a guy to make you feel heard, seen, understand, celebrate. love, value you, we can do this, and we are the best person to do this to ourselves. Even if we have a partner, there's no way they're going to do that job 10 out of 10 like you did it to yourself. So if you get a partner thinking that he's going to complete you, that's totally wrong. Work on yourself, get a partner that cherishes your value. Don't find a partner hoping that he's gonna complete you. No one gonna come and do that job for you. You have to do that job.
100%. You have to complete yourself. You can't.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to be able to do that and substitute that for you doing that to you, because
exactly
it just doesn't work.
Yeah, not even our parents. Yeah. Not even our parents. We have to do all those jobs ourselves. And every problem coming to our life, that's what I learned. It's just teaching me. They come to teach me how to love myself more every time I face it.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, so everything people come into my life, I just question myself, what does this tell me about myself? You know, some people come to trigger me. That means there's something I need to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until I learn how to heal that, I love myself more. That's no longer trigger on me.
100%.
Yeah. So, Ted, just coming back to another questions. You know, we were talking about gut instinct, and I really want to encourage people to listen to, connected to their gut instinct, their own compass, and that's what I teach my kids as well. Like going with your cheating, I just want to know if you can give a few examples that maybe give to the women out there to pay attention to their gut instinct. What would you say or share? Like, what was your first few gut instinct that telling you to pay attention to or question to?
It just didn't sit right. It wasn't butterflies. It was like I had elephants in my stomach, and I thought, he'd say something to me. Oh, she's asked me to go out to lunch with her and her kids. Can I go? And I'm like, no. No, that doesn't.
This is on the weekend, is it? Or
right for me. Oh, but I can take, my younger son, and I'm like, no, that still doesn't sit right for me. Why would she be asking you to go to lunch with her and her kids? What's the ulterior motive? And I would get, like I said to you, elephants, and it just wouldn't sit right. And, I always say to my girlfriends, my close friends, listen to your gut, because your gut actually does pick up.
Know before you.
It knows before you can 100% say this is what's going on. Your gut tells you that this is not right. You need to question it. You need to act on it. If it's not right, then you've got nothing to lose. But if it's right, you've got everything to go by, because then you're going to get the confirmation that you need to be able to do whatever you feel is right for you. So I go with my gut now. I listen to my gut. If my gut says to me, I'm like, nah, not doing this, or no, this doesn't seem right, so I'm not going to, whatever it is, what the situation is, I listen to my gut, because I learned that I should have listened and worked closer back then.
Yeah.
That's
the same.
I can say.
And that voice getting louder and louder the more you listen to it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I used to silence it growing up, like, oh, my parents told this, or other people to tell this. So I learned to silence that sound and just follow what others telling me. But every time I learn to listen to my gut instinct now, it's just the life just guiding me to the right direction.
Yeah. Because it's like a beacon, you're drawn to it, and you know that is the right thing for you.
And sometimes we didn't want to believe it.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't want to believe it. We come up with so many logic reasons to get yourself out, and you're just like, knew it, this is going to happen.
Naive. I think for me, I was naive. I was like, surely, this can't be right. This can't be. It wouldn't to me. He wouldn't do that. He would, you know, have the decency to tell me, but he didn't have the decency to tell me. You know, tell somebody he's not. I think for me, it's being gutless because you can't face that person. I think always it has to be not a confrontation, but it should be face to face. So that way you can actually get a sense of what people are telling you when they're talking to you. You get a sense. And I feel that very much when I talk to people. I get a sense for people. Like I get a vibe if that person is a genuine person or that person is not somebody I would want to have like a deep
conversation with. Investing your time or energy with, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I
think when you do a lot of inner work, you know.
Yes.
You're ahead of when people play to the surface or something like that. You can sense it.
You can sense it. Yeah, I can sense it. So I am very aware of that when I am with people, like especially new people that I interact with. I get a sense for them pretty much immediately because I'm also good at reading body language. Not that I've done any courses or anything, but I can just read body language.
Yeah, listen to your gut instinct. Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful. That's so admiring. Just coming to the question when you're facing challenges, because for me, I remember before I accepted, like, you know, I'm going to face this, like there's going through a lot of crying, there's going through a lot of anger, frustrations. Like with you, what was the shift? I know you will mention a lot of your friends were there. You have to think about your kids. Is there anything else like that helping you to shift from this is it, I'm going to face it with strength and confidence? Like, is there anything shifting for you?
I knew that, look, I'm not, but I've always known that I have my mum and dad that are always behind me. Even though they're not here physically, they're always there to hold me, support me, and to guide me. So I was actually, you know, I went through a rough stage when I was going through the cancer journey. In the beginning, I would, you know, cry for 5 minutes, and then I would talk to my mum and dad, and I would say, I'll be guided by what you tell me what I should do. And like they were giving me advice or anything, but it was just like I knew what I had to do without being told or being guided. I knew what I had to do, and it was just that instinct. I didn't want my kids or my brother to have to bury me. I didn't want not to make it to 50 because, you know, it was 44, 45 when I was diagnosed. I didn't want to be around to see my 50th. I wanted to see, you know, my daughter get married. I wanted to see, you know, what life would bring for my kids, you know, as they got older, as you know, they went through life. I wanted to be there also for my niece and my nephew, who I adore and care for very much. And I didn't want them to go through, you know, seeing me through a stage where, you know, they would have to bury me as well, because I needed to be there for them as well. So it was just, you know, focusing on and making sure that I knew what I had to do without hesitation, without question.
Yeah, you always make that quick decisions, and you pretty stay firm with that decisions. Like you have that strong, you know, like clarity. You have a really strong decision which path you're gonna walk.
Once I'm in my mind, that's it. I know that is what I'm going to do. So for me, it was, okay, I may be, you know, bordering stage 4 cancer, but this is not the end of me. I'm not going to allow this to happen to me. I am going to continue to fight until I have no breath left in me, if that's how it's going to be. But I'm going to fight, you know, with
Mm.
And, you know, when my relationship broke, I said, I'm not going to let that break me. I'm going to, you know, surpass it. I'm going to continue to live my life, and I'm going to be happy. So
Yeah.
just, I think a manifestation that I've done for myself, manifested into my head, it's exactly what I am going to focus on. It's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, yeah. I think I really believe in that as well. And especially believing that we're gonna be fine, knowing that we're gonna be fine, right? This part of us that believing that we're gonna be fine play a big part. It's just having the energy to keep pushing through because you just focus on the fine, not the problem. So you kind of know what to do next.
Yeah, it's
Because that's how I feel as well. That yeah,
with everything, it's just trying to find a solution. It's not about, oh, you know, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this, whatever. It's, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to wake up in the morning, go to work, and deal with what I have to do, and just focus today. I don't think about yesterday, and I don't think about tomorrow, because I'm living in the moment. I'm living in today. I'm not going to worry about anything else because it's out of my control. I can't fix it.
exactly.
And I can't see the future, but I can certainly manage what is happening today. I can take control of that, and I can
exactly
deal with it.
Yeah, that's what I learned as well. Wasting so much time worrying about the future and thinking about the past, and I left so little time focus on the present when it's the truly I have power is in the present moment. If I want to do something, I can do it straight away now, and I waste so much power on worrying about the future, thinking about the past. You know, it's something that you can't change. Like you said, you have no power of.
Yeah.
And know how to place your attention and energy at the right place. Very powerful.
And do things that, you know, do the things that give you joy and bring you joy. Like for me now, it's about planning my next trip. What I've done is every year now I travel. So, you know, planning my trip for next year. What am I going to do next year? It's that excitement of, I'm not going to wait and travel when I retire, because I don't know what 5 years
happen tomorrow
bring.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to bring. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just focusing on what I can do today. And today, what my focus is focusing on my next holiday. Where am I going to go? What do I want to see? Who do I want to come with me? That sort of thing. That is, for me, living in the moment.
So true. And this is why, like, you know, what cancer teach me that after going through that, my daily ritual is that if I die tomorrow, what do I want to say to my family? What do I want to do to my family? What do I want to live my life? You know, it makes it so easy for me to do things where in the past, oh, what if I do this? What other people think of me? I waste so much time. And, you know, thinking about death, thinking about tomorrow, uncertainty, it fast track of what you need to do. You're not wasting time on things that is not important for you. You go straight to the point. What's important for you, and then somehow I like this. Right, I want to invite people to reflect on that, because thinking about death is not scary, but it's inspiration instead for you to live the fullest in the moment instead of thinking you have 1,000 years here. Who knows what happened tomorrow?
100%. I look as, you know, if I didn't wake up tomorrow, I have no regrets, because I have done and I continue to do the things that bring me joy.
Definitely.
No regrets. I'm not going to be at my death saying, oh, you know what, I should have done this, I should have done that, I didn't do this, I didn't experience that sort of thing, because I have done it. I do it every day. I don't wait for a special moment. You know, like they say, there's, you know, you've got a beautiful pair of shoes. You're just going to wear those shoes when you go out, or you're going to wear that jacket or that top when you go out. Like, you look good whether you're at home or you're going shopping, doing your groceries.
Definitely.
Why wait till you're going to, you know, go out who knows when? Wear it today. Enjoy it today, because you may not be able to enjoy it tomorrow. So that's my mentality. I just live in the moment and enjoy what I possibly can today, and no regrets. I live with no regrets.
That's exactly the same as me as well. I feel like I have accomplished now that I know how to live my life. And if one day, I might not make it, it's fine. I already start living the life that I always want already. So I think it's complete. I feel it's complete for the purpose of come to life, like the complete between the birth and death. I have found the answer and I have living my life with that purpose because for me, that was the regret. It wasn't how many houses I have. It wasn't about work. The regret that I haven't lived what I want to live before because I wait and force, oh, people might see this or people might say this. And cancer have helped me to heal that, living the life, do what I want. And
it makes you realign what's important. It really helps you realign that. It actually helps you to look at, what have I wasted my life on?
Exactly.
What has made me happy in the past? What is going to make me happy going forward? So it makes you realign and reassess your life as a whole.
Definitely. I love it. If going back to your the worst day of, if I were to have a camera in your house, what would be your worst day look like? If I would go back around that time when you go through, if you recall any memory, what was your worst day look like? If you can describe that for me.
I think the worst day was telling my kids that I had breast cancer. That is the worst day of my life. Because
what was coming up in your mind at that time?
I just wanted to get the pain away from them because I could see the pain in their faces. I could see that they had so much uncertainty in their eyes. It was like, for them, it's cancer, Mum's going to die. I'll take all of that away. I wanted to make it easy, but there was no real way of telling them, making it easy, because it is what it is when you have a diagnosis, and especially cancer. It's like, people know cancer. A lot of people die from cancer, and like that was the first thing that my kids said, "Mum, are you going to die?" And just trying to hold it together and just keep it together for them and for myself, because I didn't want them to see how how gut-wrenching it was for me to see them go this, and for me to have to tell them, this, and that they were going to have to see me go through a really bad time in my life.
Exactly. And it's depend on how we tell them as well. I noticed that if we tell them in a tone of not confident and scared, they will get that energy.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I bring it up to my family, it was coming from a place of, I'm going to be fine, I can see they take it okay as well. But if you cry, if you weak, I feel like it will hit them even more. What do you think on that point?
100%. Like, when I was telling my kids, I was holding back tears. But when they started crying and, we were hugging and kissing and all of that, I was a blubbering mess, because I just couldn't control myself. I was, gutted that they were going to have to go through this. They were going to have to see it, and, the pain that they were experiencing.
Yeah, definitely.
That was the hardest out of everything. That was the hardest thing for me. It was telling my kids, and like I said before, also telling my brother that I had been diagnosed with cancer. I talked to myself for about 10 minutes before I made the phone call, because my brother doesn't live close by. And trying to hold it together and not cry was real hard, even though we were real hard, because many years down the track, my sister-in-law told me that my brother was absolutely gutted. He was, after the phone call, he was crying. Every day he was stressed and didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to see your loved ones go through such a hard thing, and it's not the news that you want to give people. It's not good news, but like I said to you, you have to be honest. You have to be honest and upfront, and you deal with it the best that you can. But they were hardest parts of what I've been through.
Yeah, I remember with your brother incidents remind me of when I found out about my dad cancer. Because cancer to me is like a death sentence, and especially when my dad find out it's like a final stage. It's like there's a lot of stress, crying, and even though I experienced trying to hold on that when I was dealing with him, taking him to the hospital and that. But there's never a single day that I don't stop crying. It's the feeling you always think about death. And I think at that time, if my mindset was stronger, I would able to shift or maybe to help the environment. But I guess I have to go through all that to learn with what I am, to have the mindset I am today. So I just want to ask you, what would you give advice to our friends that are going through the same situation with us? Like, I want you to leave advice if for any of our listeners or viewers, they going through similar situation as us, going through cancer or maybe infidelity with their partner or whatever. What advice would you have for them?
Look, the advice that I have is you need to look after you regardless. You need to look after you. You need to search deep down inside to be able to get through whatever you're going through, because that helps you to bring out strength that you thought you didn't have. No matter what you're going through, there is always a solution. There is always somebody there that can support you. There is always an end to it. You may not see it straight away, but eventually it will. It will resolve itself one way or another, and you actually learn to see who you really are and how you can. It does open up a lot about, self-confidence, self-love, and who am I? Who am I really as a person? And what has this taught me? And what have I learned from this? How am I going to apply this to other situations that I might come across, on a day-to-day basis, or, something that may happen down the track? How can I let this experience help me with something else further down the track? And I think listen to your gut. And just listen to yourself. Have that confidence in yourself, because I think we don't have that self-confidence a lot of the time, and I think we lack it because of whatever is going on in our lives, or whatever we may have had to deal with before. I think it's important for us to go back to it. Sounds a little bit cliche, but I think that's the basic. That's what everything that I've been through. It's just listening to yourself and just paying attention.
Definitely slow down.
Yeah.
Question, reflections.
Yeah. Reflect. Take time out for yourself. Those things are so important. Look after yourself.
Definitely.
Even if it's for 30 minutes a day, that you disengage yourself from everything else and then you just focus on you, whether it's through meditation, whether it's, going for a walk, going to the gym, watching TV, just disconnecting from whatever it is and just focusing on you. I do at night when I'm in bed, I do a breathing exercise that helps me relax my mind because I have a very wandering mind. So I do that, and that really helps just to ground my yeah.
Meditation is a big change for me, I don't let myself react just on thought and emotion anymore, because that I can ground myself with meditations. And I really love it. It's how you said, come back to yourself, because to me, that's the key of changing everything. Like, I never thought that, I always want, there's something missing in the relationship. I want that close intimacy relationship with my husband, with my kids, but I don't know why. Like, I'd be the last person to eat all the leftover food. Why is my relationship is still not there yet? I sacrificed so much. Why is still not there yet? Until I learn to look after myself and heal the relationship with myself, everything is just changed. And this is why I said, if you were to ask me to do it again, I'll go through cancer again, to be honest, because now I never been happy with myself, with my family, with my husband. It just fall into all the relationship that I always want, and because of my self-discovery through cancer journey. And this is why I said, challenges, obstacle in your life, take it as an invitation to love yourself more. You're going to be so amazed after you get out from the other side of the person you're becoming. So it's not a scary thing. It's just an invitation for you to grow and learn more about ourselves and learn how to love ourselves more.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more on that, because that's something that we all need to do more of. Every person needs to do that.
Yeah, and I used to be someone scared of spend time with myself. So I'm used to be someone that constantly have to find distraction, have to find something to do, because I think that my work is relying on those external things. I have to constantly proving, but now I'm stopped proving. I start improving. I stop performing. I just start living my life as who I am, and you will enjoy it way more than if you feel burnt out, if you feel stressed, then you're probably performing. You probably live your life as trying to prove to something. But our worth doesn't depend on those external validations, achievement, or what you have. It's how you feel about yourself.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. So coming to the last question, I asked this question to all my guests as well. If you can leave, probably similar to if you can leave one piece of advice to our younger generations, what would that be, and why is that?
Look, the only thing that I can think of is the same thing, because I think what happens with our generation now is they're very insecure. I think that they need to do that self-love and be confident with themselves and not rely on what other people think or see of them, because I think that's where our younger generation is more focused on. So for them, they just need to look within themselves and not look external to others for gratification. Is be satisfied with who you are and don't worry about what other people say or think about you, because it's what you think about you. Until they start loving themselves for who they are, they're not going to be able to do that.
Spot on. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. And also, I just want to say as well, I used to be that person as well, focused on external things. But when I start to shift back onto myself, I am actually amazed of our human potential, especially our mind. Our mind is so powerful. And if you don't know how to use it, it's just like a knife. It's going to hurt you. Your mind can also hurt you if you get involved with the, negative self-critic and always focus on negative things. It's going to hurt you. But if you know how to use it, it's so powerful. So And this is why I just want to invite people to shift their attention from external, look inward instead. Everything's ready, come inward, question your thought, your emotion, and your actions. And because I feel that the reason I have all these podcasts as well, because when I do the research, they said that, in the next 5 to 10 years, people may go through the mental pandemic, like mental health crush, because of a lot of girls, a lot of young teenagers girls, because of the social media, they kill themselves, they're comparing themselves to what is not real, what people recording, what they're showing, they wake up, they don't have that life every day, but there's a lot of people fall for that and then think there's something wrong with their life, so they need to come back to themselves and believe in themselves, love themselves more in order to know how to deal with know how to control our mind better, or else our mind's gonna take us, like you said, wandering, take us to places, and it might be it's not a good place. Most of the time, if you don't know how to control your mind, it's just gonna control you.
Absolutely. It's just self-love. Learn how to love yourself, because without you learning how to love yourself, you can't love someone else. And
that's it.
You learn how to love yourself, you know what you deserve, how you deserve to be loved.
Exactly. So beautiful, Tad, and I really enjoy our conversations, and hopefully maybe if our audience or our listeners want to hear more, we will come back and discuss about more topics.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Leena.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to the Wisdom Inside Out. Stay tuned. Please follow me on this social media platform.